Orb presents It Happening One Night.
This is Gary Butterfield.
This is Cole Ross.
Yeah.
Super happy you listened to the episode.
Yeah, no. It's our impersonation of the noted weirdo.
Noted awful person, Andy Warhol. Ugh.
Yeah, just a real strange man. Held a mirror up to the world, but a twisted mirror.
And had a whole bunch of other people do the work for him that he abused.
Yeah. This episode, written by Jackson Public and Doc Hammer, originally aired March 6th, 2016. And this is our final Villain of the Week episode.
Mm-hmm. And what an episode it is.
It's real fun. My favorite set of villains here, the Doom Factory.
The self-involved hangers-on.
Yeah, the most dangerously self-obsessed criminals of all. This is Andy Warhol's The Factory, a quintessential New York thing. The Legion of Doom, a quintessential supervillain thing that tastes great together.
Yes. Apparently it was a real stretch to find fits for Legion of Doom characters and the Factory's, various stars and starlets and whatnot.
It's so good.
I mean, a lot of them are just background gags, which is true for a lot of the good villains. I mean, Tank Top, justice for Tank Top.
Yeah.
But man, just the overall, everything about the way they arch is very well done. I like this, and I like this episode quite a bit.
It's a real season highlight for me.
Yeah. But they are arching Rusty in their own avant-garde, gimme attention kind of way. And the Monarch is attempting to take them out to lower their guild ranking, just so that they can, so he can rise above them. He wants to destroy their headquarters because they have a little like floating lair thing in the industrially ravaged Gowanus Canal.
Yeah. Hank also goes on a date with Sirena. And that's a great little subplot. It's very sweet.
I love all of his friends helping him out.
Yeah, it's real cute. It's very, so originally this was just a Jackson solo script, but he was having trouble. So he asked Doc to come in and help him. And they split it up. Jackson did the Doom Factory stuff. Doc took on the date stuff. There was going to be some Scare Bear plot in this that got cut. He was going to be one of Wes Warhammer's, who was the Andy Warhol in this, one of his stars that he made and then put aside, which was an Andy Warhol thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that with Scare Bear.
I like Scare Bear being, arcane. I like him being just a little bit of an esoteric, I don't need to know his story.
No. Scare Bear Origins can be untold as far as I'm concerned.
Agreed. What is this, season 3?
Yeah, exactly.
So Jackson was an Andy Warhol fanatic. He calls himself that. This was back in the 90s when there was like a bumper crop of like Andy Warhol biopic, kind of things. Factory worker and so stuff like that. But he's cooled on him. He understands how ridiculous he is. Doc is a real hero in this commentary.
I don't know. He hates him from an art perspective.
Yeah.
Or an artist perspective. I don't feel like he hates him for the things that you should hate about him.
I mean, when he says like, oh, he's the capitalist of art or whatever, I think that is wrapped up in the way that he abused the people around him.
Yeah, I kind of get it. I got art snobbery from Doc in that part. But I either way is fine.
Yeah.
I'm caught up. I was caught up in the Andy Warhol fanaticism of the 90s as well.
Oh yeah. It was everywhere.
And was like, so I am sympathetic, and I actually aesthetically like Andy Warhol stuff. I think that the idea of like, here's this image of this horrible car wreck and just repeating it in Dayglow colors over and over and over has artistic merit to me.
Yeah.
In terms of intended effect. I think that Doc is a little too dismissive of the creative part and not dismissive enough of the personality.
Yeah.
which is the part that sucks. I too, like Jackson, read the diary, and it is wretched. It is like reading like conception, like a movie, 13-year-old girl's diary.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that not to throw shade at 13-year-old girls or just use them as a bad comparison, but it is, boy, it's boring and weird.
There is a juvenilia and a pettiness that is implied in the way that or that is absolutely shown in the way that he interacted with people and saw the world. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I ended up reading the biography of him as well, and it's just like, what a weird fucking dude. Like, he grew up super poor. Like, it's almost like you know, as a hack, right? Like, to the degree that he is a hack, right? Like, I don't buy that there is no artistic merit,
right,
in anything that he conceived of. I think that's an overcorrection.
Yeah.
The degree to which this was all a persona and stuff they put on, the dedication's incredible. You know, like it's and I think that one of the things about him that is still kind of interesting to me is that I don't think it was all a persona.
Oh God,
right?
No,
like
no.
Like there's a fakeness to the factory process of how he did it, but like I think he really was that weird fucko that he comes off as. Like after he got shot, after Valerie Solana shot him, he's still like, he's that version of that dude, but through a having been shot lens.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't like drop it. You know, it'd be very funny if he's just like, oh yeah, I don't know. Oh, fuck, no, ow. Shit, you know, run.
I've been shot. Oh no.
I've been shot. This sucks. Snaps out of it completely. He was still him, like, up until he died. It's just like a real dark side of somebody who conceptualizes themselves as an artist.
Yeah.
Kind of shit.
Yeah.
So
a good choice to play a villain, and Jackson's performance as him is so good.
He's really down on it, but I think it's really funny.
Oh yeah,
I think it's really good. Yeah.
In the book, he's like, oh, you have to get right up on the microphone, and it sounds spitty, and it sounds creepy. And he's like, no, it's perfect. It's a good effect.
Yeah. Sounds great. The restaurant they go to is a ninja themed restaurant that is based on a real place they went to that I would love to go to.
Oh yes.
They pretend to be ninjas and pretend to scare you and give you rubber shurikens with your drinks and stuff.
With your deadly colada.
It is Trey Hank.
It is incredibly Hank. Yeah.
Yeah. It speaks to the Hank in me.
Oh man, doing this show has been a very fun process of identifying and nurturing my inner Hank.
Yeah, we're all a Breakfast Club of Venture Brothers characters, like in our heads, like our Herman's head.
Yeah, just
Venture Brothers.
All of us have more Pete than we would like to admit.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely, we do.
Yeah. Also, in the commentary, they talk about like, oh, we have ninjas. Like, this is earned. This is a real place. This is a thing that Hank would like, but we're not doing the ninja unicorn pirate shit that was played out by this point.
Yeah, even though it is a show with ninjas, unicorns, and pirates.
Oh yeah.
As we go through all those things, it is it's not the dose that makes the poison. It's like the approach that makes the poison with that shit.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, it was that ninja burger, you know, kind of thing is real old. And sometimes that attitude towards things led to some real garbage. Like, I was just thinking about how, you know, mostly Chuck Norris got the internet deification.
Yeah.
But I remember there being some Seagal.
Oh yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You know, about that guy without really reckoning with the fact that dude just colossally sucks, and not just politically.
Oh no,
you know?
no. Like, it's just an absolute, just a monster. Yeah.
Yeah, like absolute douchebag, and the internet was just like, "Oh, let's use them as a punchline, meme kind of joke, random thing." And it's like, oh.
Listen to the Behind the Bastards about Steven Seagal, and you'll kind of understand what we mean. It's he's terrible.
Yeah, what a douchebag.
Yeah.
So it's a very good episode. Starts with the introduction, the same announcer that introduced the Blue Morpho. This is a parody of the dude who did Super Friends. Super Friends intro. Did you ever watch Super Friends? Do you have any catalog on Super Friends?
No, it was never really airing on stuff, so all I've ever got it through is like either snippets or parody. My closest reckon on Super Friends is the building that the Justice League operated out of. In the cartoon, that cool Art Deco kind of looking thing that was modeled after a building that I worked near in Cincinnati. The what used to be the old Union Terminal there.
This is a very good parody of the beginning of Super Friends, where Lex Luthor tries to call roll and everyone just keeps smashing the table,
just ruining furniture.
just destroying chairs and shit. This is also old internet stuff. Speaking of ninjas and pirates, the old Sean Baby comics they did on Super Friends were very funny.
Yeah.
Informative to me. But he's doing, talking about the Doom Factory, their headquarters in the Guanas Canal. The most dangerously self-obsessed super criminals, introducing all of them. And they're based on this scene. This is one of the more specific jokes the show has ever done.
Uh-huh.
Because people just know Bridget Berlin, like just the kind of cultural cachet. Hey kids, hey, cartoon fans.
I appreciate their dedication to having as many of them as they have here.
Yeah, they do the whole crew.
They do. You got Frigid, based on Bridget Berlin. You have Serpentine, based on Ondine. Kind of a Riddler type. Not all of these get lines, but Serpentine does.
Yeah. Eenie Meenie, who is kind of Edie Sedgwick. There's not a shrinking person on Legion of Doom.
Not like a Tinkerbell kind of dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Gerard the Gorilla, based on Gerard Galenga. The Black Mariah, Black Manta / Paul Morrissey. Trashenstein, the Exquisite Corpse.
I love that.
Based on Solomon Grundy and Joe D'Alessandro. Ultraviolent, which is ultraviolet, of course. The Shehemeth. God, do I love that phrase.
That's a good name.
Yep. Love the Shehemeth. Based on Hollywood Lawn. And then and Billy Mame, based on Billy Name. Great, just Wolverine claws.
Yeah, he's just a guy. He's in a t-shirt.
Nope.
And then Hard Candy,
Very
based
good.
on Candy Darling. Yeah. Just all of these scene people. Come on.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Zero patience. But they are all led. They are all the sycophantic clingers on to Wes Warhammer, the combination Lex Luthor, Andy Warhol, and just the way that he turns around is like, hi, let's go Arch Dr. Venture.
Let's go get Dr. Venture. Yeah, it's very good. And again, barely a joke. Like it's just a presentation.
Oh, it's so unnerving, and it's just incongruous for Lex Luthor being the screamy mad guy, and then here he is.
We cut over to black and white video footage of the Venture Tower with Brock and making the kids and Doc watch it. He's like, it's a threat. Everyone's bored out of their minds. If you don't know this about Andy Warhol, he did movies that were just like, here's the Empire State Building for 6 hours.
20, my friend.
20, yeah. Even as a kid who was like, I've decided as my teenage identity, I'm going to like Andy Warhol. I could not get down with the movies.
Right.
I'm not an absolute fucking psychopath.
He really wanted to be Salvador Dali.
I don't like those films either.
No,
I don't want a long art film. Yeah, none of it's okay. I don't care whether it's Salvador Dali or Andy Warhol. Get this shit off my face.
God, I love Dean though, as he's settling into his I'm going to be a humanities student kind of guy, just kind of analyzing it, saying, "Oh, it's about the rhythms and mundanity of life." It's like. Dean and Hank goes like, "Oh, big college words." Just like, "I'll stop trying to impress everybody, Dean." But Dean threatens, saying, "Hey, I'm not going to help you with your plan tonight if you keep busting my balls like that." They've got a plan, but they've got to keep it secret from Brock, who would not let them do this.
Yes. Yeah. The reason why it's a threat is because at the end of the video, it says the word Doom. And it came in a box marked Doom, This is modeled after the Brillo pad boxes. This was one of their T-shirt of the month club things. I very much wish that I would pick this up, because just that font just saying Doom, that's real fun.
Yeah.
And it announces the Doom Factory. And Brock is taking this very seriously.
Yes. It's an arching. They're level 10s, so you're not going to fuck around.
And we're gonna find out they're actually incredibly effective in what they do.
Over at the New Jersey mansion, we see another meeting. It's happening between the meteor and then the mansion. Phantom Limb is real skeptical. The council's together, real skeptical of Dr. Miss the Monarch's conclusion that Rusty is the Blue Morpho, saying like, hey, he's too lazy. He can't change that quickly. The shortly. And this is where the council's like, the Monarch's obsession is rubbing off on you. You really need to take a day. Yeah.
Yep. And it seems like they're not wrong.
Right.
This is this sitcom shit that's happening in the subplot. I cannot handle it. While this is happening, 21 is trapped in the basement there. So the Monarch has to distract her so he can get out. Like, what is this Three's Company bullshit?
Yeah.
That's happening season 3. Like, am I imagining it? Why are we we're tangoing? Like, what is happening? I don't care for it.
It's a weird way to use time. Yeah,
it's not a joke. It's not funny. The way he does it is he does it by coming on to her.
Yeah.
And distracting her.
Yeah. Well, she's like, oh, you're such a tiger today. What brought this on? And he's continuing the line. Oh, I just missed you so much. Like, your relationship is falling apart. Please.
Yeah. Take this seriously.
Yeah.
I take it seriously. Or let me rephrase. Gary, stop taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh. What I'm confident taking seriously is the very good and cute date that Hank and Sirena are on. Is just they're riding their hover car around on the carriage paths in Central Park. Hank is talking about how romantic it is, the air, the smell of the horse poop that's in the air. God, Central Park is weird. Like, it's neat and cool that they've preserved all that land, but a lot of it does smell like horse shit.
Yeah, and a hansom cab is a real weird proposition to me. Yeah, I think. Hank is wearing the outfit from Michael Jackson's Bad. Really funny touch.
Continuing his just I'll buy the Steve McQueen outfit. I'll just buy the Bad outfit. I love the exchange. Like, wait a minute. So if we're not going to bring it up, is that the Bad outfit? No, it's not. It's the good one.
It's the good one. Very sweet.
But I love the rationale that they give in the joke for this. He's not just trying to be stylish or whatever. He Hank's conception is she is a villain's daughter, so she wants somebody who's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to prove himself, as this. When he gets out, they get the spot. He radios Dean and Pete, and this is the old timey sitcom stuff that's pretty funny.
Yes.
Pete steps out to mug him, and Hank does a little bad dance until Pete drops the knife.
Drops the knife and runs away. It's
so good.
It's good when Hank does it because Hank bends reality around him.
Yeah. Exactly. We all conform to Hank.
Yeah. And also this isn't trying to fool your wife. This is your friends going along with your ridiculous concept of the way that this stuff should work. And ultimately it is very sweet. It is
the intent makes it.
Yes. Yeah. But Pete drops his knife and Sirena asks to borrow it. And then Hank hears some bongos. It's Dean, who is dressed up as a beatnik, just playing on some bongos. Like, can I groove with you, Daddy-O? And his bass is there, so he picks up and starts playing his bass and singing a song about Sirena.
I love it so much. She cuts it short. They're going to leave at this point.
Yeah.
And then Billy being late to all these things is so good. Billy rolls out dressed as a baby. They're going to drop the Lost Baby act. Done this huge production.
But Dean says, "Oh, I found this restaurant. It is Trey Hank, and what a good brother thing to do. He found the perfect place for him, and it's a surprise.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And something that's maybe a little too hardcore for me. Serena's taking the knife and digging out a tracking chip out of her arm.
Yeah.
What? Like, oh, okay.
All right.
I mean, it's supposed to be kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I guess she's like, I take them out when I'm having fun, and so she's having fun and everything. Grisly.
Yeah, a little bit. How deep? I've never seen how deep tracking chips go.
It doesn't matter. You have to use a knife to get it out. Like, it's pretty deep and it's happened multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grisly.
A little bit, but she is having fun, and Hank takes that to heart. He is surprised and heartened.
Yeah.
So
Brock is upset because he's back at home and nobody's taking it seriously. He calls Rusty to wrap everything up and get to the panic room, because the Doom Factory comes out at night. Rusty's playing Team Fortress 2 with Sergeant Hatred. And it's actually Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
There. I was hoping for some insight around this, but in the commentary, like, oh yeah, remember we got that video game? And then they move on immediately.
Yeah. No, it's a bummer. I mean, and like they had worked Brock as a character. No, that was Telltale. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
The Heavy. Okay, so the Heavy was in the Poker Night game with
There's
Brock.
2 degrees of separation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, but he team kills Hatred, which is fun because Rusty would do that. And Brock gets Hatred to spill the beans to say like, yeah, Hank and Dean are in the park. And as Brock goes and says like, hey, Hatred locked this place up. Eeny meeny. Darts Hatred. Brock has left, and this is going to be the opening for the Doom Factory to move in and set up their happening.
Again, very effective. Brock finds Serena's chip dug out near the abandoned hover car where they walked away. Rocco walks up following his tracker, also finding the chip, and they're going to fight. At this point, they think they both kidnapped the other person's ward.
Yeah, and Brock nags Rocco for using power armor in his sea lice suit or what have you. I love this stuff with Brock and Rocco together.
It's pretty interesting. To put them together.
And just like Rocco's performance is very good. I kind of wish we got more time with him ultimately, but
yeah, I agree. So the Monarch, who was trying to get his wife horny to get his friend out of a situation, goes in to have sex with his wife, who has chosen the sexy farm girl act.
Yeah.
And she gets on all fours and is like, you're going to have to park your hay bale somewhere. Real suggestive stuff. And he darts her in the ass.
Yeah.
There. And he's like, oh, we should have waited. And it's so weird.
Yeah.
This is also where they introduce, and this thread has not worked for me completely. There's a payoff for it, but we'll talk about it. Where 21 is reading a book about PTSD, blood in my hands, grief in my heart. The callback to this is very funny.
Yes. But he's trying to tell the Monarch, like, hey, there's some interesting stuff in there. The Monarch doesn't care. He says, enough with this PTSD bullshit or whatever. You're a villain, That doesn't work for me really either. The Monarch should care about his friend.
Yeah. 21 gives the rundown on Wes Warhammer. He was in a spread in the Modern Villain. And he's this kind of postmodern artsy villain that 21 thinks is too flashy and clever, a little bit so ain't I deep. But they have a sick layer. They suit up and get on the Morpho scooters. I like this little touch where Monarch just goes in circles. Right?
Just kind of drifted.
Very relatable.
Oh, yeah. Man, jet skis are fun. You ever been on a jet ski?
Not for a very long time, but I have as a kid. I thought about that. As somebody, I keep, it's been a running theme for the last year of me maybe turning into a water person. I've been looking at houses, and several of them are water houses. And some of them have you get a little jetty, you get a little place to have a little sea bath.
Little place to tie off. Yeah.
Yeah, tie off. And I was like, man, if I became a water person, I had to get a jet ski, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's like a motorcycle, but for the water.
I feel confident in using it on like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was like, yeah, that'd be fun.
I was just thinking about that when I was putting these notes together. It'd be, I've got their lakes around here. I could get a jet ski. My brother's car could tow it. Guy. Yeah. I don't know. I could probably, it might make more sense to rent one and use it as opposed to immediately hopping in and taking on the maintenance and storage of one.
Maintenance and storage of this incredibly expensive vehicle.
Yeah.
Very specific and expensive vehicle.
Yeah.
We could drive to work and stuff. Just like tear up the concrete.
Scraping the hull, it's useless.
You drag it behind your car until it gets to the lake.
Oh my God. So Brock and Rocco, they've fought themselves to a standstill. They're at a stalemate. It is cool that Brock is a match for the power armor. And they complement each other on their skills, right? They're just like, oh, where'd you get those moves? Rocco is ex-Delta Force, and Brock learned his jumping spear move from Achilles and Troy.
Yeah, it's real, like the way these are all delivered is real good. Where'd you learn that jumping spear move? Achilles and Troy. Like it's real fun. The Pitster, nice. It's totally an underrated movie. Yeah, right? Like it's very like fun bro time.
Yeah, it's these two bros just like, oh yeah, we got common ground.
Rocco's like, we have to team up and find our kids. We have mutual interest.
Yes.
Here.
So
we could play Rock'em Brock'em robots all night, which is very clever.
Yeah, that's a short-lived line if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's called him Brock'em Sock'em Robot before.
Has he now?
Yeah. But the Brock'em and the Rock'em is very good for Brock and Rocco. He's like, oh, you mean a team up? And we get, whoa, don't put labels on it. Real cute.
Oh, man. So Hank and Sirena, they are walking to the restaurant. They're having a very cute discussion about what they would outlaw if they were king. Hank says something very wrong. He says he would outlaw all yellow candy, saying it's the worst flavor, neglecting that lemon is a very good flavor for candy. Hank?
Yeah.
You're thinking
banana.
I mean, sometimes then it's very bad when it's banana. However, lemon.
Yeah, he's thinking of the wrong candy.
He is.
There's improvised lines from Sirena here. She talks about what she doesn't like. They just told the actress that she has a bodyguard Rocco and she hates him. So she improvised a lot of this stuff. And it's real winning, really charismatic.
Yeah.
Outlaw Rocco's mom. So mom couldn't give birth to Rocco.
God, just her, Serena's voice actress is really
phenomenal.
Yeah, does an incredible job. Even better in season 7, I think.
Yeah. They get to the restaurant. Dean and Pete step out as paparazzi and take a picture of them. Like, give us a kiss for the camera, will you? Again, just Hank's weird, bizarre world.
It's like, it's old timey paparazzi too. Like Pete's in like suspenders.
Yeah, they've got those flash bulbs that explode. It causes. And the restaurant, they go in this dungeon basement full of ninjas. That's great.
Yeah,
I want it.
They're like, oh my, they don't know what it is. Like, oh my gosh, what is this place? It's a freaking dungeon. No, it's Yumi, which is fun. It's a kind of arrow, but also it sounds like yummy, or it looks like yummy. It's great.
Very cute.
So, Rusty, he gets back to his apartment. And it's completely turned over to this awful, awful party that the Doom Factory has set up. Like, oh, it smells funny in here. And he sees all these weirdos that are redecorating the place. And he had previously walked in on Hank having gone crazy with the credit card. He figures, oh, you must be Hank's friends, right?
Yeah. Safe bet regardless.
Oh, yeah, of course. And Serpentine is there sitting on the couch, telling the gorilla to, you need to screen print in longer, slower strokes.
Strokes, darling. One of the things that I was so disappointed in, like, we're going to be off book next season.
Yes.
We'll still get the commentary, but the commentary has proven to be so useless.
Yes.
When there's something I really want them to talk about the second Shallow Gravy song.
Yes.
Real weird. Somebody made these fake Velvet Underground songs in the background for all these scenes. They're really accurate.
Yes.
So much so that I was like, oh, this is the Velvet Underground. And I had to listen real closely to be like, these are not actual Velvet Underground songs.
Is it Thirlwall doing a style parody?
That's usually something that Doc ends up doing for this kind of stuff, but they don't talk about it. So I don't know.
Weird.
And I would just think that they would spend a little time on it.
Yeah.
They're really intricate. Like every scene from here on in the compound or in the tower always has a bespoke fake Velvet Underground song playing in the background.
Huh.
Very weird. A weird kind of running joke that doesn't work for me is that when he says friends of Hank, they think Hank means a pill.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that would be a name for a pill.
No.
Eeny Meeny flies by and takes his watch. This is going to pay off later in a funny way.
Yeah. Someone nearby, they have set up a payphone and they answer it.
Yep.
Say Doom Factory, and Rusty recognizes like, oh, these are the guys who are here to kill me, and dashes to the panic room. But the panic room is a photography studio now.
just taking your whole house and transforming it into an annoying space. It's really funny arching.
Yeah, everything about the arching just incredibly good form.
Yeah, well done.
Just this real high concept stuff. But Wes is in there, having Black Mariah photograph Exquisite Corpse, photograph what's his name, the Trashenstein, yeah. And Rusty's like, oh no, tries to radio on his watch, but it's stolen.
Yep.
And this
really
this is when Wes turns and gets a good look at Rusty. Says, "Oh, you're really such a beauty."
Yeah, and Rusty is not used to this. This is, unlike any other arching. He's like, "Don't hurt me." You're the boss, applesauce. Like, it's so good. And eventually, they put him in front of the camera there, and I love Wes Hammer being like, "Just going to take his shirt off." Like him not doing it.
Yeah.
And then the person just being like, take her shirt off. Like in the Black Manta voice. It's real good.
And it was like, oh, it's a onesie. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
He takes it off. And also, I love the revelation. Maybe we've seen this a couple times before, but I've not underlined it in the notes, that Rusty wears a dickie under his speed suit.
Yeah. Real good stuff. Very funny. Rocco and Brock are driving there. Rocco calls out. Brock is like, oh, so what, did they freeze you in 1979? Just wake you up? What's up with the, and they're talking about his mullet.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. And then they're arguing about the smells. Like, oh, you just like, hey, it's going to roll down these windows. Can't smoke in here. Like, oh, your Axe body spray is a big deal. Just again, their interplay is very good because Rocco's also a real stereotype himself,
Yeah, they both are.
Yeah.
Sirena is just kind of talking to Hank. They're just having small talk there when they get interrupted by Jared. The waiter, this is Jared, the Braun Widow, there. The waiters, his kung fu moves to each other. It really reminded me of the hilarious Waiter Brothers. Really.
Who's this
and
for?
they order the Virgin Deadly Colada because it comes with a rubber throwing star.
With a rubber, God, Nathan Fillion's line reading on that. The Virgin Colada comes with a rubber throwing star.
Yeah. And knowing how to get to Hank.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But we get a revelation. Hank is not the first good guy that Serena's dated. Her and Jared used to date. And you're just like, oh, there's the usual argument like, oh, I wouldn't call it dating or whatever. But Sirena just kind of brushes them off. So poor Jared.
The Monarch and 2021 are going down the canal on their scooters. This happens. The comedy timing of this is very funny. So we don't see what Monarch hits. He's mid-sentence and it just goes, ass over tea kettle, falls in the water. It's right after 21 says like, don't get any of this on your skin.
Yeah.
Or don't get any of it in your mouth. He lands in the water, spits out the water. It's like, I got some of it in my mouth. And then a dead dolphin floats to the surface.
Dead dolphin juice in my mouth.
Really, really good. Apparently that's real. A dolphin died in the Guanas Canal.
Oh yeah, no, it's when I say it's industrially ravaged, that's not just the intro to the Majority Report that they use every day. It is also like true. Like that this may in the book they say that the water tested positive for syphilis or something like that. Like it's
incredible stuff.
Ugh. And it's basically just a Blight Town, but in a canal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They end up at the lair. The lair emerges from below them.
Yeah.
There. And the Monarch lowers himself into the skylight. They start fucking with the lair. They're like, if we take out the lair, the Doom Factory's rating goes down. We're not going to try to kill them. It's how are you going to do it? How else do you think? Blowing my inheritance.
Yeah.
And he has all these grenades and remote bombs. So they're going to do a tear down on it and get the Doom Factory down.
Yeah. So Rusty has gone over the course of these couple of scenes from being weirded out by this unconventional arching to being completely into it. Like he's in his undies and he's in his dickie and he's just rolling around on this mattress. posing for the camera. Just into it. He feels so special until he notices that Wes is gone. He's left to go into the party.
Yeah. It's he doesn't even notice because he's behind the camera.
Uh-huh.
Is Wes still here? He left.
Isn't he directing this?
He goes out and he's seeing the footage of him projected on the walls of this wretched party, and no one will talk to him. He's old news.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and tries to talk to Wes. He's like, "Oh, we taking 5 here?" And Wes is just like, "Oh," and just starts talking to someone else.
Yeah.
And Serpentine tells him what's up.
He shoulder surfs him. He is just looking over and he just walks away. And Serpentine's like, "Oh, that's how he works." He comes in, he makes you feel special, and then he moves on, devastating you utterly. And while that's happening, we steal all of your stuff.
Yeah, people are walking out with his things. And he's like, "And you're stealing my stuff?" He's like, "This isn't arching, honey. Remember where you're at." It's really good.
And Rusty's like, I'm so confused. And then Serpentine offers him a hank, which is terminology they started applying. That callback is good. That works for me. Yeah. But
some kind of pill.
But it's the perfect way to arch Rusty. Just really appeal to his vanity, but also confuse him. He's very slow on the uptake.
It's real good. We missed the callback I referenced earlier. It's real good where the
no, this is
Brock
happening right here. Yeah,
that happens here.
Yeah,
with the gun. Oh, I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I thought that happened in the drive up there. I guess they spend more time in the car than I remembered.
Yeah.
Brock and Rocco are checking out the restaurant, and they see that it's ninja themed, so they think it's actually supervillain ninjas.
They call it a hive.
Yeah. The old pitch book for Venture Brothers with the ever-present ninjas. A little trivia thing, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Rocco's like, "Let's go in blazing," and he points in. Brock's like, "I can't do it." He points towards his gun. He's like, "Not loaded."
Yeah.
And I love Rocco being real tender. He's like, "We had a guy like you in our unit in Afghanistan. There's a book you got to read. Blood on my hands, grief, and gets cut off." I love that so much.
Yeah, I just said that PTSD would be a real problem probably in these circles. Yeah. So
Brock's dealt with it. He went into the Joy Can, or then he went in that ayahuasca ceremony.
He did
with No,
I was saying it sounded like a question, but I didn't. Yeah.
So he's dealt with his stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just his pride, Inside, Hank is, he's salty. He's acting kind of like a baby, and he's straight up says, he's pretty blunt about it. He says, I'm acting like this because I think that you're just dating me to get at your dad to make him angry, right?
Yeah. Pretty shitty and possessive, but also very understandable. Like, you first start dating, you think that, you start feeling like you have ownership over the person you're dating's past.
It's also the first time that he's been this interested or infatuated with somebody, Well,
somebody's forgetting the mail lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am forgetting the mail lady.
Not today. We're not doing this.
God, the mail. I did forget about the mail lady. Yeah.
Hank likes them thick. It's
oh my gosh. But she says, what if I actually like you? Nobody ever puts on weird skits with me. And it's like, "Oh, what do you mean weird skits?" It's just like, "Oh no, I've been found out." And she points out 4 different albinos. Hank
tried to mug us. Yeah. Really good.
Albinos may in fact have deep pack instincts. That's scientifically plausible.
Very cute. She says it wasn't really a big thing. They just got drunk, and most of the guys who date her, don't do that. They just get drunk and try to fool around with her. And he says he doesn't believe in that. This is a reference to Bull Durham, which I did not know.
Yeah,
I've never seen Bull Durham because I'm not a dad.
God damn it, Gary. I was just gonna say it's a good movie.
It's a movie for dads and to a lesser or greater extent stepdads. It's the Ford versus Ferrari of its time. Area dads celebrate. Bull Durham's on cable. I have not seen it because I'm not a million-year-old and I have not made kids.
Okay, all right. No, it's good. It's a good Tim Robbins performance. Yeah.
I'll let you do the honors since you know what this is parodying, because I do not.
This is the speech that Kevin Costner gives, because he's a real hardens, this is baseball players like in the like 60s and 70s, but in the movie it's pretty vulgar. The female lead asks him, well, what do you believe in? Years so, and he says like a bunch of embarrassing stuff like, oh, I believe in cock, I believe in pussy. It's just like blah blah. It's like, whatever, man. It's supposed to be, bad and dumb, because he's not a good person. But Hank's version is very good. It's like, well, I believe in the soul. I believe in the hanging curveball, pretzel rods, not twists, the powdery smell of girls' deodorant, that pets talk to each other when we're not listening. I believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted with clones, which is really good. That is the thumbs up line. I believe in the sweet spot, magic invisible gnomes, that cereal is not just for breakfast, but for any meal. And I believe in long, slow, deep, soft, wet kisses that last 3 days, stopping only to go to the bathroom, obviously. And I gotta say, I'm on board with Hank for a lot of these. Yeah.
For a lot of them. The last one would be a real nightmare. 3 days.
3 days is a long time. Also, that one is specifically lifted from the movie, not the bathroom part. The bathroom part is their embellishment, but
she says, "Do you want to do something crazy?" And she got won over by this.
Yes.
And sister, you had me at crazy. So they're going to head off.
Yeah.
21 is taping these grenades to these pillars, and the Monarch is complaining about his skin burning from being in the canal, needing to take a shower there. And the Monarch, again, just acting like an idiot, is like, let's race out of the building. It'll be so cool here. And just presses the button, but
potentially killing his friend.
8 times over.
Yeah.
Idiot.
They go to run out. They grab some of the Mylar balloons that are there from Shehemoth, who inflates them, grows up, and then puts them on the ceiling. They grab some of them so they can float. But the Monarch gets caught. His jacket gets caught as he tries to jump out. Fortunately, there's no explosion, at least yet. It seems that the bombs are duds. They are from the 70s.
Yes. Yeah. As he's stuck, the ship starts up and starts flying away with the Monarch with it. There's a really great, just like, dude, like as he's running, trying to get after him.
Yeah.
Brock and Rocco dress up as ninjas, and together they attack Brown Widow's friend,
Justin.
And Justin. He's like, pull your punches. The Brown Widow responds as the Brown Widow.
Yes.
Webbing up Brock's knife. And there's this great, I love this line where Justin's like, Jared, I thought you were just a struggling actor. You're the Brown Widow? He's like, I'm both, Justin. And I'm sorry, but one improv class does not make you an actor.
I thought you were a struggling actor like me.
Like me, yeah. So good.
He's just saying like, no, you're not an actor. You took one class. Like, very New York
Jared
conversation.
is like, oh, you must be Brock. I've heard so much about you from Dean. I like the idea of them hanging out and being friends.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Hank and Serena are right over here, but they had ditched.
Yes. So Brock leaves the restaurant, and I love this. Pete's just waiting there, doing the paparazzi thing. Like, okay, they're going to leave. Everybody on their marks. Brock punches Pete through his camera.
Yep. The cold glocks him. And then Billy, always late to the party, rolls up as a veteran.
Yeah.
With no legs on a dolly.
Yeah. Why didn't we
really
get to be ninjas? It's just like,
yeah, he thinks it's all part of the same.
Yeah, it's the big setup. So they ditched so that Sirena could go to the shore off the Battery Park. She jumps into the water, and she needs to get her skin wet every 6 hours because of my thing.
Yeah, her splash DNA.
Yeah.
Hank jumps in, he screams from the cold. They go underwater because of like searchlights or something, right?
Yeah, just like, he screams and they get attention or something. I think they hear Rocco or Brock yelling like, Hank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and she takes him underwater and breathes air into his lungs.
Yeah.
In a kiss for him. It's very sweet. Even though that's not air. You can't breathe from somebody inhaling oxygen and then just exhaling into your mouth.
Nope.
That air has been used. You can't shotgun air.
I think that there is still some. It's not a perfect conversion. There is still some oxygen in the air that you exhale. It is not 100% efficient. just so nobody else.
I wonder how long you could go just passing air back and forth.
I mean, probably a handful of breaths. We're extending beyond my knowledge from where I can speak confidently.
Do you have a dunk tank?
No.
Will you get one so we can find out?
I've got a bathtub and some free time.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
I'm on my way. Yeah, let's for science.
Keep the receipt for tickets. This is weird.
Yeah, this is a business expense. We're both going up in the hospital. The explain that, be like, we weren't making out. Listen, there's a little show called The Venture. Okay, have you seen The Tick? And just going from there.
Johnny Quest. All right, that's a starting point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Monarch is floating in the air. He can't get to his grappling gun. And the layer lands on the rooftop. The Doom factory just called in by remote control to carry away all their stuff.
Rusty's super angry that Wes is going to take all of his stuff and just leave him, we got to finish the shoot, right? And Wes is like, oh, here, someone gave me this gold watch. I think it was Eni. She said I could talk to God with it, but I don't have anything to say. Here, now you can talk with God.
Very funny. And it's just Rusty's watch, but they spray painted it gold.
I think that teeny meanie's a thief.
That's really good. They leave and he's just like, you're just thieves. He's like, yeah.
That's exactly
incredibly effective arching. They just stole all of his inventions and broke his heart.
They didn't lie to him. Like, just it's been like they have said exactly what is going on. He just doesn't understand that they're adversaries.
I love it so much. The blue Morpho falls off from the layer as it takes off and greets Rusty. And accidentally, the remote for the grenades falls on the ground and blows up the layer.
Yeah. Exploding in the air over Manhattan.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. The Hank and Sirena kiss on the surface of the water and look up at the exploding people and say, fireworks. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
We get our sixth consecutive just moving the plot along post-credits thing.
Yeah. This is space for jokes. But Dr. Miss the Monarch wakes up in her bed. She's been tranked. And this is the cue for the Monarch to wake up and pull his own empty dart out of his own ass. And it's like, oh my gosh, the blue Morpho is here, but we're lucky to be alive. Yeah.
I don't know why the blue, this, she never follows up on this again.
Right.
The way they're making the characters stupid.
Yes.
Where I feel like Mrs. the Monarch would want to know why the blue Morpho just popped in and didn't do anything.
Yeah. Seems like a bad plan on the Monarchs. Yeah.
Super weird. But then because the Doom Factory just got blowed up, Phantom Limb calls and says, hey, you were right.
Yes. What do you need?
Mrs. the Monarch. And that's the episode.
That it is. Great episode. Some hiccups in the Blue Morpho stuff, but man, what a good idea. What a good idea the Doom Factory is.
Just the fact that they're so successful at it.
Yes.
Is just very funny to me. This is the combination of things that gets Rusty completely. That is very funny to me. And they're just really clever puns, or little clever, mashups of two things that I wouldn't imagine being mashed up.
Right.
I always like that.
Frigid to Brigid. I'm a mark for that,
Yeah. Same.
See purple rose,
Exactly. Yeah. Just their superpower and applied for good.
Yeah.
The next two episodes basically function as a 2-part finale almost.
Yeah.
We're not going to cover them that way, but just we're in the home stretch. And then we're on to season 7. It's probably time, now, if you have things to say about season 6 of the Venture Brothers, go to Duckfeed.tv/contact.
Yeah. Write in, keep it about season 6 if you can, and we will read those in the wrap-up episode between season 6 and season 7 as we get to kind of the last leg of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming in the home stretch, everybody. We appreciate you. If you want to support us, head on over to patreon.com/duckfeedtv. We'd certainly appreciate that. And you can also leave us ratings reviews on Apple Podcast or Podcast Addict or anywhere podcast reviews are found.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other stuff. You know what to do. You've listened to podcasts before. Most of
Those
all,
are the
though,
things.
we should say. Also, early release is going away. Yes.
Oh yeah. But other than that,
Go Team Venture.